Welcome to Sicily Meets the South. I'm Libby, also known as Elizabetta, and today I'm going to teach you how to make a ridiculously easy Alfredo sauce. You can toss it with fettuccine or the pasta of your choice. But first, a word about Alfredo. You see, there are a lot of people out there who insist fettuccine Alfredo isn't even an Italian dish. So I did a little research. This is what I found out. Back in the early 1900s lived a restaurateur in Rome. He had an ailing wife. To entice her to eat, he created this delicious, velvety, cheesy sauce, tossed it with pasta. She loved it. He loved it. Everybody who tasted it loved it. Yeah, before you knew it, it was appearing on the menu of this restaurant. The man's name? Alfredo Dell'Ilio. Well, something like that. Anyway, his first name was Alfredo, and he named his sauce after himself. So, is fettuccine Alfredo an Italian dish or just a restaurant gimmick? Who cares? It tastes good, doesn't it? Who doesn't love a nice, hot, steamy bowl of fettuccine Alfredo? Nobody I want to know. Don't pay attention to that one there, Mr. Mooney. He thinks he's Italian. But if you look real closely, it clearly says, made in China. But before we begin our Alfredo preparations, there is a matter of great seriousness we must discuss first. How many of you are guilty of buying that white pasty sludge in the jar off the supermarket shelf when you want Alfredo? Oh, come on. Everybody's done it, except me. Let's see a show of hands. Don't be shy. Okay, then. A little worse than I thought, but I've got this. Oh, my children, I hereby absolve you of your Alfredo sins. Go and fake Alfredo no more. There. You feel better? I feel better. Now we can begin our Alfredo preparations with a clean slate. And you will never go back to that store-bought stuff again because this is going to be so ridiculously easy. It's ridiculous. But if you do backslide, well, Mama gonna get you. Who's ready to become an Alfredo wizard? You, perhaps? Good. Let's talk ingredients. I call this ridiculously easy Alfredo for a reason. Because it's ridiculously easy, as in 3 ingredients. Really. Butter, Parmigiano Reggiano cheese, and a little pasta water. That's it. And you don't need any fancy utensils either. A ladle, a pasta fork. If you don't have a pasta fork, just grab the biggest fork you have in the utensil drawer and something to toss with. It could be 2 forks, your salad tongs, or a pair of claws, which is my preference. A nice sized bowl or platter that can retain a little heat. Cheese grater. Pretty simple, huh? Of course, we're going to add in the fettuccine and a little salt for the pasta water, but that's it. Simple ingredients, simple tools, and when we come back in the next segment, I'm going to show you the simple technique. That's where all the magic happens. You're going to be a wizard. You're going to love it. You're going to master it. Because if you don't, you shall not pass my class. You knew I was going to say that, didn't you? Okay, I've gotten a little head start on you. All I've done though is cut up a stick of cold butter into 1/2-inch pieces and put it in a bowl here. Make sure it's nice and cold when you do this part, though, or you're going to get butter all over your fingers, and you're going to have slippy fingers. You're going to be dropping stuff everywhere. Don't want to do that. Okay, so we have our stick of butter cut up. Now we're going to grate Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. But first, a word about Parmesan cheese. You don't want any kind of Parmesan for this dish. You want Parmigiano Reggiano imported from Italy. And do make sure it has a nice piece of rind on it right here, and I'm going to tell you why. The closer we grate down to the rind, the nuttier and more complex the flavors are going to get, and you're going to want all that goodness in your Alfredo sauce. Besides, that's where you're going to find an abundance too of those crunchy little crystals that make eating Parmesan cheese such a delight. Okay, let's grate a little more. We're going to need about 1.5 to 2 cups of this Parmesan cheese for 8 ounces of fettuccine. And while we're doing this, let's talk a little bit about Mama. Her name was Lena, and her family came here from Bisottino, Sicily in the early 1900s. They landed at Ellis Island and then migrated to Birmingham, Alabama, where they, along with a lot of other Sicilian immigrants, established a little Italy. Mama was a wonderful mother and a fabulous cook, and she lived in Little Italy for a long time. Sadly, with each generation, the children moved on, myself included, and so that Little Italy is no longer there. Mama's no longer with us either, and I sure do miss her. But you know, I keep her right there in the kitchen with me, and I feel like she's cooking, standing by my side, giving me her sage advice as I'm preparing each step of a dish that she's taught me. Gosh, I can almost hear her now saying, Elizabetta, you grated too much Parmesan cheese. Silly Mama, you can't have too much Parmesan cheese now, can you? Sure does smell good though. All right. The next thing we have is our pot of pasta water come to boil right here. And that means we're going to need some salt. Oh, don't mind my friend Sylvia there. She keeps her hand on that little salt shaker because she thinks I eat way too much salt. I'm Southern and Sicilian. I like salt, 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 salt. I've outsmarted her though. I have a salt cellar. Into the pot of water, I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons of salt. I know that sounds like a lot, but it really isn't. You'll see. As you boil that fettuccine, it's going to be infused just ever so lightly with a nice saltiness. And that's all the salt that you're going to need because we have salt here in the Parmesan cheese. And if you're using butter that has a little salt in it, you got that too. So got plenty of salt going for you here. Now, the fettuccine. It's time for that to go in. I want to tell you a little bit about fettuccine. Let me show you this. It's a little wide and it's very flat on both sides. Can you see that? That makes it just perfect for fettuccine Alfredo because you have more of a surface there to kind of hold on to that beautiful sauce and get all glistening and flavorful and carry all that goodness right to your mouth. I love pasta, but fettuccine is the perfect vehicle to get that Alfredo from my plate to right there. Into the pot, we're going to put about 8 ounces of fettuccine. There we go. Of course, you can just open your 8-ounce package and dump it in, or half a 16-ounce package. But I'm kind of an expert at figuring out how much 8 ounces is. Got it right there. I've been doing this a while. This isn't my first pony show. Into the pot it goes. And we're just going to give it a nice stir now until it all gets down in there and is separated and going in the pot. Turn it up just a little bit. And we're only going to want to cook it till it's al dente. That means that the pasta, when it's done, will have a little bit of bite in the center. You don't want it mushy now. That's going to ruin your dish. Taste it as you go along if you have to, but don't overcook it. Very important. I can't reiterate that enough. Take about, I'd say 4 to 5 minutes on that until we get it to al dente. And then I'll see you back here. And we're going to put it all together. And if you thought this part was easy, just wait till the next part. Not only easy though, it's really a lot of fun. You'll see. See you back here. Okay, I fished a piece of our fettuccine out of the boiling pot to see if it's al dente. Woo! It's hot though. Let's see. Just about another minute or so. That means it's time to prepare our bowl or our platter. Again, make sure that it's heat resistant. We're going to take it over here to the boiling pot, sit it down, and very carefully take a scoop of this pasta water and put it down into the bottom of your bowl. Gently stir it around a little bit. Just let that sit in there for just a few seconds just to kind of warm the bowl a little bit. Okay. And then we're going to very carefully return it to the pot. Be careful now. I don't want anybody to get burnt making ridiculously easy Alfredo sauce. Kind of wouldn't be worth it then, would it? Okay, into the warm bowl, we're going to put our cold slices of butter. Kind of move those around, spread them around a little bit. Okay, now it gets serious. Let's return our bowl back to the spot next to the pot. And we're going to use our pasta fork to scoop out the al dente fettuccine. And we're going to put it right on top of that butter. Almost seems good enough to eat just like that, just with butter, huh? My mama used to fix that for us. In fact, when we were little, just pasta with butter. Nothing wrong with that. Some of the best stuff I ever ate. Okay. Now, that's in the bowl. I'm going to cover this pot back up, turn it off, transfer this over here. Now I'm going to pick up my claws, or use your forks or your tongs or whatever you're using. Kind of spread that pasta out. Oh, I shouldn't have covered my pot. I've got to use it one more time. Almost forgot. This is kind of the best part. Now listen, to an Italian cook, the pasta water is cooking gold. Never throw it out until you're absolutely done making whatever pasta dish you're making. We're going to put 1 scoop of this starchy pasta water on top of the hot fettuccine. There we go. Like so. Move it back over. Again, please be careful. I don't want anybody posting on my page that they got burnt making my ridiculously easy Alfredo sauce. You just kind of ruin everything for me. Don't ruin things for Elizabetta. Got it? All right, this is where our cheese comes into play. We've got our fettuccine sitting in the bowl on top of the butter with a scoop of starchy pasta water. And now we're going to cover it with the shredded Parmesan cheese. And I mean cover it. I don't want to see any of that pasta underneath that cheese or while you're doing this. There we go. Wow. See that? Completely covered. That's the effect we're going for here. All right. Now let the fun begin. Pick up your claws. Let's get clawing. Start tossing this beauty around. Toss, toss, toss. We're going to toss. We're going to stir. If you're feeling real adventurous, you can flip. And then we're going to get pretty vigorous with it. That's why you wanted this al dente too, because you don't want this tearing up while you're doing all this very aggressive tossing and stirring of the fettuccine with the butter, the pasta water, and the cheese. We're going to keep going with this for about a minute here. And as you're doing this, you're going to see the miracle of the Alfredo taking place. What are you noticing there on the bottom? Yeah, that sauce. It's a sauce developing there, thickening up. Yeah, that's the pasta water, the butter, and the cheese. Boy, it is smelling right too, let me tell you. That nice, buttery, nutty, creamy aroma. There's nothing like it. Nothing. It's the signature of good fettuccine Alfredo. I'm going to keep going here. Keep going until everything is nice and thickened up. Wow. Be sure you scrape some of that cheese up off the bottom there. Might like to stick a little bit. We don't want that. We want every bit of it into this sauce. Whoa, isn't this fun though? You can pretend like you're Alfredo Delillo. Woo! Pretend like you're over in Rome creating the first fettuccine Alfredo for your ailing wife, ailing husband, whoever. Ooh. Yeah, got a good vibe going on here. Ooh, got a little splatter on my apron there, my little rooster apron. My pal Coccolino over here isn't going to be real happy about that, are you, Coccolino? You'll get over it. Okay. You know what? I got a little bit of cheese still sitting here. I'm going to go ahead and add it because, well, you know, cheese. One more little stir and toss, and I think we're there, people. Oh, I know we're there. Wow. Fettuccine Alfredo. Just like that. Now, wasn't that ridiculously easy? I know at this point you probably can't even believe that we just did that. And what the result is. Meet me back here in the next segment, though. I'm going to show you how to plate it. And we'll talk about a couple of garnishes in case you want to fancy it up a little bit for company. But there's no need to. It is already a thing of beauty. All that tossing made me rather thirsty. Little sip of Brunello di Montalcino. My favorite wine from Tuscany. I can't ever get enough. A lot of people tell me I get plenty. No bother. Anyway, I'm going to show you how to plate your fettuccine Alfredo. Mine's been sitting for a couple minutes now, so it's all nice and thick and creamy. I'm going to give it another little toss and then use my claws or forks or tongs to pick up a serving size. I'm going to move it over to my pasta bowl or plate, whatever you prefer, and drop it. You thought I was going to do something fancy like they do on those cooking shows, twirl it into a volcano or something. You don't need to do all that. If you want to see that kind of thing, go to somebody else's cooking class. Let's talk garnishes. I like to take a whole nutmeg and grate a little bit sometimes on top of my warm fettuccine Alfredo. Nutmeg is a spice that works really well with anything creamy, buttery. Adds just a little hint of spice and really brings out those warm flavors. You only need a little bit. That's it. Another thing you can do, you can add a little bit of chopped basil or basilico, as Mama would say, or Italian parsley. And just put a little bit of that right on top to give a little color. And there you have it. A beautiful dish of freshly made fettuccine Alfredo. If you want to really wow your guests, prepare it tableside. They'll be talking about it for years, I guarantee. Oh, yeah, there's one more garnish. I prefer a little spritz of my Bottega Bonito Knot, Knot, my favorite perfume from Italy. The beautiful fragrance just mingles so gorgeously with the warm aromas of the fettuccine Alfredo. I never dine without it. For your class project, post your pictures and videos on my page of making your own fettuccine Alfredo using the techniques I showed you here today. Tell me what went right. Tell me what went wrong. Ask questions. I'm here to help. I hope to see you back here again. Next time, maybe we'll make something Southern. Maybe we'll make something else Italian. Maybe we'll make something that's kind of a mix of both. You never know. In any case, it's going to be fun and fabulous. Hope to see you back here at Sicily Meets the South. Until then, ciao and bye, y'all.